guys, this is your girl Victoria back to you with another review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 11 Episode 3 called Thin Red Line. So we start off, we have the little montage as we see Jessica White. She's doing a photo shoot. Spice is renovating her new home that she bought. And Amy and her mom are looking at party venues for a relaunch party for her product line Pretty Kitty, which I believe is a product to help maybe your pH balance, your smells and stuff that you got going on down there. She did go into it, but I just didn't, take it in and write it down. So I think that's what it is for the most part. And then we get to the scene of Rennie Rucci. She meets up with Carly Red at some restaurant. She comes with her brand new puppy that she got like 5 days ago. And so they sit down and chit chat. And of course, Carly has nothing else to talk about but Spice. And said she's been very supportive of Spice. And, Spice, she's been trying to hit up Spice, but Spice ain't really hitting her back up. And even Rashida's mad at her because I guess she didn't tell Rashida where Spice was at when Spice was in the hospital. But she didn't want to be messy because everybody considers her messy. So that's why she didn't say nothing to Rashida. So she says. And then she said she's going to give her some time because Rennie did tell her, well, she's still recovering, so give her some space. So that's what Carly says she's going to do. Now, on Rennie's side, supposedly Rennie and Carly are cool, best of friends, or whatever the case may be, because when Rennie's mom passed away, Carly was very supportive, so I guess they became cool over time more than they were before. And no one brought up Erica Banks. I think Carly mentioned that she and Erica Mena were doing something. I didn't really take in what she said word for word, because this scene I was just like, can we get to the next scene, because I really don't care for this one. But because the name Erica was brought up, I guess, some way, somehow, Rennie decides to bring up Erica Banks. She ain't really feeling her like that, the beef that they got, but she not going to be too pressed about it. You're not too pressed about it, Rennie, but yet you bringing it up. Okay? Why? If you ain't pressed, Erica Banks' name shouldn't be coming out your mouth, point blank, period. So what's the point of having this conversation? What's the point of bringing her up? What's the point of discussing the whole beef that you guys got in the first place? Ain't no point. So, therefore, you wanted to bring it up. The producers probably made you bring it up. Okay. Anywho, glad that scene's over. We then get to Amy. Since she, like I said earlier, she's relaunching her product, Pretty Kitty. Her and her mama's at the store or the venue where the party's going to be at, getting the kits set up, because I guess they had to set up 6,000 kits for kids or whatever the case may be. And Chaotic pulls up. I guess he was unaware that he was that he was there to help out with getting the kids put together. But, he's not too mad at it because obviously Amy's gorgeous. And her mom, per Chaotic's words, she fine. Did I put anything specific that he said? I don't know. Nope, she just real fine. But Chaotic, he thinks every female is fine. So listen, Chaotic loves the females, but it be really having me questioning, like, Chaotic, so do you not get no play? Because you really out in these streets acting like you get no play. So anybody with legs and a puss is like you just down with it and ready to go. Which I don't like. I feel like you get play. But the way you be acting on these shows, not only on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, but also Love and Hip Hop Miami, you be acting like you don't get no play whatsoever. But okay, whatever. You just want to be here, the comedic relief, I guess, so to speak. So, of course, he's asking questions like, oh, does this help cure STDs, gonorrhea, chlamydia, all that stuff? No, it doesn't. But okay, let's just ask this so people could just be looking at you like you crazy and you do. Okay, that's fine. So then that's when Amy gets to telling her mom about the situation with the sisters and being jealous that she's getting all the mom's attention because the mom's the manager of all three of them. So the mom says she's going to do a mandatory meeting between the sisters and her. Okay, cool. We then move on to Jessica White. She's in the studio because she's pursuing her music career. I guess she supposedly loved music all this time, but I guess the modeling career was more popping off. And after wasting 8 years with Nicholas Cannon, now she feels like she can do what she wants to do because I guess supposedly, per her words, let her tell it, when she was with Nicholas Cannon, for almost a decade, she couldn't do what she wanted to do. Now, I don't know how that relationship dynamic was. I wasn't there, so I'm in no liability to say anything. But however, I just really feel like you're stretching this relationship so far that it's kind of like he ruined every opportunity that you had. And I don't think that's the case, me personally. But who am I to say I wasn't in your relationship? I'm just saying from the outside looking in, I don't really see that. But, a lot of us don't be seeing stuff. So, I mean, if that's her story, that's her side of the story, okay, cool. But for me, I'm just kind of like, you're putting so much onto this relationship, and it's like I didn't even know you guys were a thing. Like literally, after I watched Love and Hip Hop, I watched Wild and Out, and you was on the show, and that's when they mentioned you and Nicholas being together. But prior to this show, I didn't know you guys were together. Nicholas been with a lot of females, so it's hard to keep up. But okay, all right. These 8 years been very traumatic, and you've been through a lot. Okay, I'm not saying you didn't. Once again, but okay, that's your story. Cool. So getting into this little session, I guess the producer, engineer, whatever his name is, I guess he plays one song, which sounded very good, but then I guess the song he had specifically for her called Put It In Your Mouth, he played it for her, and I'm like, what type of trash music is this? Even the lyrics was trash. Jessica wasn't feeling it. She lets him know, and he's like, oh, but you said you wanted something sensual, sexual, all this stuff. She's like, okay, but not like this. And he was just trying to convince her otherwise. She still wasn't with it. I guess her manager or whatever was kind of like, yeah, I know this is not what you want, but I mean, this is the best we got for you. But I'm just like, no, if that's not what you want, Jessica, don't be going down these rabbit holes like a lot of people do, and just do trash music just to get their name out there. If that's not something that you rocking and vibing with, do not do it. Okay, he's I guess supposedly he's worked with Beyonce and all this stuff, but I'm just like, okay, but you wouldn't play a song like that for Beyonce, so why would you have a new potential client and let her try to throw this trash on her? Like, if you can do music or whatever for Beyonce, then you could do way better for Jessica, even though she's a rookie to the game. Like, you played her, you tried her. And for me, like, Jessica, I feel for you, but you just gotta stand up, okay? Because all money ain't good money. But we move on to Spice. She was Zooming her tour manager to talk about her options for her tour, and Rashida comes to visit. So Rashida lets Spice know that Carly has been secretive about where Spice was. That's why she didn't go see her in the hospital, because she didn't know where she was. So then Spice lets her know like she's been annoyed with Carly because she's been hearing so many different things about her. She's been bragging about spending like $30,000 for her birthday party, when in actuality, Carly only spent $1,000. Excuse me. I'm just like, yeah, I'm even that $1,000 is very questionable, Spice, because I'm pretty sure the producers did all the work. The producers footed a lot of the bill. So did she really pay the $1,000, or did technically it cost $1,000 to get the whole party set up together, and it was really the producers who footed the bill? Because it wasn't a lot of you guys there. If we talk about the party that was on Family Reunion, it was only a handful of you guys there, so it wasn't nothing to be like, oh yeah, it's such a great grand party for $30,000. Okay, so $1,000, if that. So she lets her know about not only that situation, but the Grammy situation, and Rashida's just flabbergasted. But, it don't stop them from doing a tour around the house. I wish we had an official tour. But, we do get to see Spice's closet, and it looked very grand. And I'm like, I think any woman would die for that closet. So that's very good for you, Spice. And then that's when she invites Rashida to the dance auditions for her dancers. Okay, cool. We then get to Amy, her mom, and the sisters. They meet up for the meeting. And it doesn't go terribly left, but it does go a little bit left because of the fact that Angie, she seems the one that is the most bitter. Now, at first, I was going to be on Angie's side of like, okay, I understand where she may be coming from, where she doesn't feel like she gets the mom's full support because the mom is fully, doing with Amy and what she got going on. But then that's when Amy let us know that the mom did make investments into their businesses. But the thing is, the sisters, they went and blew the money on vacations and trips and all this stuff, that when it came down to it, it didn't look like they was really focused on the business like they should have been. So that's why the mom kind of just like, okay, I'm going to put my energy where I know which of my daughters is doing the most work towards their business. So if that's the truth, I can understand the situation. But at the same time, Angie is the bitter one. Even the other sister, she seemed a little bit more calm, cool, collective, and level-headed in the situation, whereas Angie was just kind of like, no, F you guys, I ain't gonna be putting nobody above me. And even the other sister was like, okay, I don't want to be your operations manager for Pretty Kitty no more. And like, I guess the relaunch party is like days away or whatever the case may be. So Amy was like, would you reconsider? So then I guess that's when the sister said, okay, I'm gonna have to think about it, let me sleep on it. And then Angie's like, no, well, no, why do you have to sleep on it? No, you're not doing this. You can't just keep working for them. You got to focus on yourself and worry about yourself. So then that's when, of course, Angie and Amy get a little into it because of the fact that Amy feels like Angie's the one that's convincing the other sister to quit being the operations manager. So then that's when Angie gets in her feelings. Like I said, she said 2 seconds ago, she ain't going to put nobody before her. She going to put herself first. She gets up and leaves. And that's kind of where the scene leaves off. I mean, was there any real resolution? No, but I'm pretty sure we're going to find something else out later on in the season. And by the end of the season, I guess they all won't compromise to something. You know how they usually do. They always like to end the season off on a nice big bow. So we'll see how that works out. And then we get to Shekinah. She goes to visit Spice. Spice invites Shekinah to come to the dancers auditions with her. And I guess they kind of run around the house a little bit. But she kind of got a fake booty. And her running with the fake booty, I'm just like, she kind of clearly exercise is not your forte. Because I'm just like, this is just too much. Y'all just do the most. Anywho, while they're chilling and whatnot, they get a knock on the door, ring, doorbell, whatever. Who's at the door? Carly. Not only Carly, but her daughter, Jasmine. Come to find out, Jasmine is pregnant. And come to also find out, Carly bought the house next door, across the street, whatever the case may be. Spice is pissed. So I guess Carly was like, okay, so now, when I'm not here, you can watch over Jasmine and all this stuff. Spice pulls Carly outside. Apparently, they already had this conversation way back when, like last year, when Carly was first mentioning that she was going to buy the house. Spice told her she don't want her to buy the house. So now she's asking her, why would you buy the house? So Carly, what was her excuse? Carly said she wanted to be close to her. Carly, what are we doing here? Like, I understand she wants to stay relevant. I understand she has to do something dramatic or crazy in every season so she could keep being asked to come back. But at this point, Carly, we are tired. We were tired since season 1. Like, we at this point, you're just being weird. It's not even, it was never funny, really. But it's really not funny now. To the point we're buying, what are we doing, Carly? Like you really got nothing else going on. What about your store? How's that going? We couldn't do your storyline being about your store and how business is and how it's been crazy since the pandemic and all that. We couldn't do something in regards to that. We have to really be like, oh, I bought a house across or next to Spice. I'm gonna be Spice's stalker. That's my storyline this is. Really? This is what we have condemned ourselves to, Carly? Because I feel like I guess not better, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like at this point in time, at your grown age, Carly, you would be better than this, but clearly you're not. And I'm very disappointed. But I'm just kind of like, Carly, you're weird. Like, I get it. You want to be close to your friends that, you consider friends and family or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, especially if that person told me, don't buy a house next to me. I don't want you living next to me. You guess what? I'm not going to want to live next to you either. So I'm not going to get the house next to you. So her doing this it's just very weird. It's very strange. But at the same time, it's Love and Hip Hop. At the same time, this is a reality TV show where I know producers do a lot of producing. So I can't be too weirded out, but if this was a case where there was no cameras, no TVs, and this was like a for real thing, Carly, you are very weird. But anywho, we move on to Spice and Shekinah. They head to the dance audition, meet up with Rashida over there. All the girls that was there showed out, and Spice said that they were good, but they're not Spice. Spice, we know, okay? We know ain't no Spice like Spice, okay? But they did very good. Now, I'm not saying Spice can't do some of those moves on the pole and stuff, but I'm just like, Spice, let's not be that type of person that's gonna like hate on anyone and think you are the best of the best. We get it, you dance, you could do moves. Clearly, we know that. But at the same time, you know you can't be doing all those things that you usually do. So you got to get the dancers. So let's Spice. I know you like to perfect your craft, but please, those girls did a very good job. Just from the snippets that I saw, confidence is key. They did the dang thing on the pool, from the top of the pool to the bottom of the pool. They did an awesome job. And, hopefully you choose some people and hopefully you do a safe performance. That's all we want at this point. So after the whole auditions, that's when Spice lets Rashida know what done happened with Carly at the house. So Rashida calls Carly a stalker. But she's just weird, okay? Just weird. That's what the title of this episode should have been called, just Weird Vibes. So then we get to Jessica. She goes to Tidra's performance, which she's a fan of, and then I guess her manager got her backstage passes or whatever the case may be. So she goes backstage to talk with her and about her career, trying to get into the music industry. So Tidra does give her some advice in regards to that. Did I write anything down in regards to the advice? No. Because I know we're doing this for Love and Hip Hop, but is this music career for real, or are we just doing this for a storyline for Love and Hip Hop? I don't feel like I've heard any Jessica White song, not that I really be knowing the new songs that be on the block, but, I'm not, really taking this music career serious, even though Tidra did say, you gotta not necessarily prove to anybody, but, you just gotta do you. You just gotta put your stuff out there. So, I mean, did she put her stuff out there? I don't know. You let me know, because I'm not going on Instagram or nothing checking for no Jessica White. Gorgeous woman, but I don't got time to be checking for people. I got a lot of things to do personally, okay? So other than that, we get lastly to Spice and Carly. They meet up at a restaurant. Carly is just attempting to act her ass off, looking scared and frail and trying to play the part. And she, once Spice walks through the door, Carly's like, "Hey, sis." Spice was like, "Don't call me hey, sis. Like, let's not even do this." So off the bat, Spice lets her know, like, you're being fake, you're doing all this stuff. She brought up the Grammy situation. She brought up the house situation. She brought up the hospital situation. She even brought up the fact that, come to find out, Carly made the neighbors sign an NDA so that the neighbors don't tell Spice that Carly done bought the house. And, Carly does try to say, "Well, I make everybody sign an NDA." I wonder why, Carly. I wonder why. So Carly starts crying and saying she don't know why Spice hates her so much. And, if her and Jas was on fire, Spice wouldn't even spit on them. Carly's dramatic. Spice ain't trying to hear none of that. So Spice gets up and leaves. Carly goes after her, crying as if like they was in a relationship and Spice broke up with her or something. She's doing the theatrics and crying and being dramatic. And, Spice was just like, "I don't want you living next to me. I already told you I don't want you living next to me." It's like, if I fart, you can hear it. If I have sex, you can hear it. It's like, you don't need to be that close to me. Like, I don't know why you acting like this. So, Carly just continues crying and saying she has no one else to talk to, and she loves her. Spice ain't trying to hear that, so she just walks away, and that's where the episode ends. I don't know how old you are, Carly, but I really feel like you are in your 50s at this point. It's time to stop. I think it's time to retire from Love and Hip Hop. If the most interesting person on this show, Mimi Faust. It ain't no Kirk Frost. Mimi Faust. I don't know how to say her last name. But if Mimi can retire from Love and Hip Hop, other than being on the running backs, because, keep bringing her back for that, it's your time to go. Carly, is really your time to go. You have nothing left to give to this franchise at this point. You are stalking people and acting very weird and strange. It is time. That's where I want to end this. It's time for Carly to be dismissed. In the words of Shawnee O'Neal, thank you for your service. Service. That's it. There's nothing else for me to say. This was the Carly episode, clearly. So, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you laughed at least once, please subscribe. If you didn't laugh, come back next week. Hopefully I can make you laugh. Comment what you thought about this episode. Be easy breezy lemon squeezy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.